Should in custom and lore they were all my stone. For years and the borrowed wall became my own. Each brick I laid was a name I meant to keep. Each floor I built on a measured, careful leap. The ground shook one low groan with no sign, and down came every wall I called mine. I stood in the dust worn by a stranger's name. Nothing at all, no reason, no name to claim. And inside that not knowing the first breath came free, with no borrowed answer left to breathe for me. I fell, and I remember. I rose, and I walked it through. Every catastrophe is the ground where I have grown, and the roots are holding true. I broke, and I heard it, a trunk that climbs through the smoke. My catastrophes are the soil, and the seed inside them awoke. They warned me a wall that is sealed never breaks, so I forged the second house from my mistakes. For years I lay it wall on wall along the seam, so that no hunting wind could ever reach the beam. But the wind slid fox like through the bolt and the lock, and the ground beneath me shook with a second shock. And when it dropped again, another turn came round. The scream shut in my mouth, and my feet held their ground. And down in the rubble where the beams were left bare, there I learned to breathe in the raw unborrowed air. I fell, and I remember. I rose, and I walked it through. Every catastrophe is the ground where I have grown, and the roots are holding true. I did not grow careful, and I grew alive instead. My catastrophes are the thread, and the way runs home where they live. That day the trowel let go of my hand mid-stroke. I set the level down and walked out through the smoke. I shed the blueprint for good and began to move, with nothing to guard and with nothing left to prove. Free to lie down low, free to crawl the floor, and free to barely fly, and free to soar. 5 years between each fall, that span is my worth. Not the tower still standing whole on this earth. The house came down, but the hearth was my ground. One steady flame that the quake never found. Only the ash could tear a hole in the skies, and the stars ran wild where the roof used to rise. To be cracked wide open proves I'm alive, and the fall is the very height where I arrive. This crack was never hidden, this crack is the gold, and every scar unfolds into the map I hold. The bird has grown that very wing back a third time, and asks the wind for no permission to climb. I fell, and I remembered. I rose, and I walked it through. Every catastrophe is the ground where I have grown, and the roots are holding true. I screamed, and I heard it, new growth pushing through the frost. My catastrophes are the cost, and in the count none was lost. Not an end, and not a curse, not a debt the years repaid of. Every catastrophe is the ground where I have grown, and the growing is what stayed.